Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to discuss feelings and frequency. The emotions that you feel throughout your day are the cause of what you see and what happens to you and what you experience physically throughout the rest of your day and throughout your life. And I was journaling this morning, because I'm getting into the habit of daily journaling again, and I had a moment of frustration, and I was just like, I keep feeling this way. 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 So because I keep feeling this way, that is why I keep experiencing these things that are triggering me to feel this way. And I just finished reading a book. It was The Ivory Tower, Breaking the Spell, by Jerry Marzinski. That wasn't even the title, but the title had those words in it. And he discusses, I've talked about this before, schizophrenic patients that he would interview and try to figure out the source of the voices that they would hear and the hallucinations that they were experiencing. And he came to find out that the voices were not just figments of their imagination, but that they were actually spiritual entities that would prey on people who were easily triggered, and they would eventually get to the point where they would, I guess, control them, for lack of better words, or they would, basically terrorize them through their mind. And it was a whole thing. And he was saying in his book, now, of course, that's like an extreme example, but he was saying in his book that more or less, to a certain extent and a certain degree, we all experience some type of voices in our head and negative self-talks. And a lot of the times that negative self-talk is connected to a feeling that we have. And so I bring all this up to say, I was journaling. I'm just like, why am I feeling this way? I'm so upset. It's like every time I take, a couple steps forward, I end up taking steps back. And it's just, I feel very aware of my emotions. And that's something that happens on the journey. When you're coming to change, you have to first be aware of what it is that you want to change and why. And then as you figure that out, or as you ask yourself that question, you're going to notice it more and more and more. And so I bring that up because sometimes I do feel like the negative thoughts that I have, I'll just be sitting here, I'll be having a fine day, nothing to complain about, honestly. But I will have a thought and I'm just like, where did that come from? Like, why would I even say that to myself? Like, I'm fine, everything's okay. I have my health. I'm good, I'm good. Sure, there are things that I want to change, but that's just contrast, and contrast leads to the things that you want. This is what I'm telling myself. So I've just been noticing it more and more lately, and I wouldn't say getting beat down. I'm not going to put that out there, but it's definitely been like, okay, like you have to push through. It's like fourth quarter, that, you don't want to go back. And it's just like, okay, you have to push through. And so I've had moments where it just felt like really overwhelming, or it felt like, why am I feeling and experiencing these things? And then I just thought back to that book. And, I think I pay a lot of attention to the negative voices and the negative phrases that I continually hear and tell myself. I don't even know if it's really me. This sounds so crazy too, I know, but what I mean by that is just like, if I told myself, which I have, that I want to change, that I want to be better, that I want to take control of my life, that I want to truly understand that I create my own reality, then after saying that, there will be no reason for me to want to backtrack or want to talk bad about myself or bad about others, right? And so what I'm doing now is I'm taking the observer seat, and I'm assessing the thoughts that I have. And I just noticed that a lot of them are negative. A lot of them come out of nowhere. A lot of them feel intrusive, and this might lead to different things. And I could go on and on and on about this, but it's just a reminder that, our feelings in our frequency is what creates the things that we see around us. So I don't know. I guess I just wanted to make this as a reminder. I'm kind of like all over the place, and I apologize, but it's just because I've been reading so many different things, and finishing that book really helped. But it's just a reminder, like, if you are experiencing negative self-talk, or if you just feel like your thoughts are constantly berating you from the moment you wake up to when you go to sleep, it's just a different perspective. It's like, maybe, if you don't want to feel that way, if you truly do not want to feel that way, then maybe it's, maybe the thoughts aren't your own. And that sounds so weird to say at first, but, this is actually backed up by many examples. It's been talked about for like hundreds and hundreds of years in different contexts, through different anecdotes, and it's in a lot of books. But I think that it's something that's just largely accepted. Like, it's accepted that we sometimes have thoughts that come out of nowhere, or certain intrusive thoughts to a certain degree. Some are on one end of the spectrum, which could be like schizophrenia, and some are on maybe a lighter end of the spectrum, which could be like, you know, you just have like, oh man, I'm so stupid, why would I do that? But you know, I think it's something that we should look at, because there do exist people who do not have these thoughts. And so it's just like, you weren't born with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you weren't born talking negatively about yourself. Like, this is something that is programmed within you. And so I guess basically what I'm trying to say is that if you do have these thoughts, that you have the power to change it as well. And it's a process, and it's, for me, it's painful. I'll speak for myself. For me, it just feels painful because it's like, I've been like this for so long, and now that I'm working to change it, it's just like an identity issue almost. It's like, well, you identify with the person who has these thoughts and who thinks these things and who feels these feelings. So if you just throw all of that away, then who would you be, type thing. And that is, it sounds crazy to say out loud, because it's just like, well, would you rather be the person who thinks these thoughts, or would you rather get rid of it and replace it with something new? And of course the answer is replace it with something new, but then in your brain it's just like, you think and you're just like, okay, well, what is the, like, you don't have a clear grasp on the new thing yet. I don't have, like, I can imagine it, I can think about it, and I do, but it's still like that little gap right there that I'm filling. And it's a lot going on, you guys. It's so much. I feel very vulnerable right now, I'm not gonna lie, but these are, you know, just things that I'm going through. And I'm gonna be more, I made this off the cuff, but I'm gonna be more like strategize with my thoughts about this, because I didn't even expect to talk about this. I had a whole different topic planned before I turned on the camera, and then it just blurted out. But yeah, that was just a revelation that I had. I was journaling and I'm just like, why do I keep feeling this way? I'm feeling this way. And you know, I think I'm stuck between like ignoring my feelings and saying they're not mine, whatever, I don't care, to processing them, to observing them. It's just like, I feel like I'm jumping into 4 different seats when it comes to my feelings and my emotions, because when you've been conditioned for so long, it's like, it's almost like, what's real? Like, what do I really care about? What really upsets me? What really makes me happy? What really makes me feel the way that I feel? Is it just because I've been told to feel this way? Is it just because this is the only thing that I've known? Is this because, you know, 5 years ago something happened, or 25 years ago something happened, and now I've just decided to react this way for the rest of my life? And there's so much like science behind this and reasoning that I've been told behind this. But now, as I gather new information, as I read more books, as I watch interviews and I learn new things, I'm just like, I feel like most of the things that I've learned and been taught about, like my own emotions, have been a lie. So it's just like navigating that too. It's like, do I really feel this way, or is this how I think I should feel? Do I really believe this, or is this just what I've been told to believe? So that's just where I'm at right now. And with my feelings, it's no different. It's like, I sometimes can be objective and I can just sit and observe and watch when I observe a certain feeling, when I feel a way. Sometimes I'm in it, and I guess it just takes practice and it just takes experience to move forward. But yeah, you guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know how you've been feeling and where you're at in your journey. I would honestly love to hear, because, you know, it's an interesting world that we're living in. It's like a lot of things are shifting, and a lot of people are starting to understand that it's our responsibility. Our lives are our responsibility, regardless of politics, who's in power, what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. We always have the freedom to control our thoughts. Like, no one can make you think something, right? They can only program you. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. Thanks for listening, and let me know what you guys think below. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. I know I was like here and I was there, and I was here and I was there, but these are just things that I'm thinking of. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.